it's been a tremendously rewarding progression. And part of that, I think, is because of our coaching philosophy at Mahomet-Seymour and some of the things that we believe in at Mahomet-Seymour. And I want to share with you that in this off season, I had a coach come up to me, and he said to me, "Coach, our program's struggling. We're having a tough time, and I want to know what you think is the #1 reason for your success at Mahomet. Why have you guys made the playoffs year after year after year? You guys are always tough. You always play well. What's the #1 reason for your success?" Now, I know the answer he was expecting. I mean, I give talks at clinics throughout the state and the Midwest about our inside zone scheme, and if you're not a football nut, that has to do with the way our offensive line blocks. But I wasn't going to talk about that. He might have wanted to hear about our defense and our coach, Steve Krebs, and the great job he does with our defense and the way our linebackers play. But I wasn't going to talk about that. Or special teams. We win games on special teams. We practice special teams every day. We emphasize special teams all the time. But I wasn't going to talk about that. Or our coaching stability. When you look at the history of Mahomet coaching, I'm the 3rd coach in the last 44 years. That's stability. But that wasn't the answer I gave him either. Or maybe about our summer program and our tremendous summer camps and all the things we do with our kids in the summer with our team building and our installation package and all the things that we work with to keep them involved with our program. But I didn't talk about that either. Or our facility, which are second to none. We have tremendous facilities. We have a great field house. We have an unbelievable weight room that's largely been furnished with volunteer donations. And we can get our whole team in there, and we can work out together, and we can build ourselves up to prevent injury and get stronger in the Corn Belt Conference. And it's a tremendous advantage. But that's not what I talked about either. Or maybe he expected to hear me talk about Mahomet-Seymour's community. When you go to a game and there's a big crowd, hey, I've been all around the state at hundreds of high school football games, and our crowds are tremendous. And we have tremendous support from the community for our program. And our kids get support, and people talk about football. People talk about what's going on. People ask me about the game all the time. So it's always on people's minds, and the kids know that they're in the community spotlight. That's not what I talked about. No, the answer I gave this coach wasn't one that he expected. It wasn't one that you think about when you think about football. I said, "Coach, let me tell you the most important thing that we do. The most important thing we do is we love our players, and we teach them to love each other." And that's something that you don't often hear coaches in football talk about, or people associate with football. But it's the most important thing we do, is loving our players. And I said, and that coach gave me a questioning look. Okay, I thought I was going to hear about inside zone. But I said to him, I said, if you love your players and you teach them to love each other, everything else takes care of itself. It all falls into place. Because when you think about what you'd like to see from your players and from your coaches, if the love comes first, you don't have to preach to them about doing things for the team. You don't have to talk to them about self-sacrifice. If they love each other, they're going to do those things. When you think about what you do for the people that you love, what would you do for the people you love? You don't have to bring in the topic of give one up for the team or all of those things. They take care of themselves. You don't have to talk about being on a team and helping others to succeed, to play as one. When you think about the people in your life you love, what would you do to help them succeed? That comes naturally. It's an outgrowth of it. When you talk about celebrating the successes of others without keeping jealousy, well, of course, when someone you love has success, you celebrate it with them. You're not jealous of that success. It's something you enjoy as much as they do, maybe more. You're proud of that success that they've had. That also comes with that same love. When we talk about forgiveness for mistakes and things that go wrong and overcoming obstacles, you're going to forgive someone you love. And that's true for the coaches as much as the players. And a part of that love is being honest all the time. We're saying to our players all the time, we made a mistake there and we need to do better. And we ask your forgiveness. And we didn't make that mistake on purpose. And we love you and we ask for you to help us overcome that mistake. And that's not just strategic errors, it's maybe communication errors, it's a lot of things. But when the kids make mistakes or when we make mistakes, there's a love and an understanding there that means that forgiveness comes. That we can let go of the grudges and other things that might come with that. And with love comes a willingness to give people second chances and to understand the worthiness of every single player on our team and what it means to them. And this coach was looking at me and I could tell I wasn't completely registering. And he's, well, what do you do to bring this about on your team? And I said, well, you have to show love. And you have to demonstrate love. And you have to talk about it. And you have to bring it to the table on a regular basis. I tell my players almost every day that I love them. Now, that's something you don't hear coaches talk about much. But before we go out to the game, we have a special time. And you might think that I go down there and I scream and yell and get them fired up, and we do get fired up. But the first thing I say before every game is, no matter what that scoreboard says, no matter what happens on that field, always remember, we love you and we care about you. And that's not going to change no matter what that scoreboard says. That's not going to change no matter what happens on that field. Every practice, since I took over as head football coach, we, in the practice, breaking it out with some special words. And it's words that just came to me as we were coaching that first team. I started out, we all have our hands in together, and I say, "You're my blood." And they all shout back, "We are brothers." And that's what we break it out on every day, on our drills. And we want them to carry that forth with them, that brotherly love and the things that we're talking about. I tell them on a regular basis what a privilege it is to coach them, how blessed I am to be part of their lives. I don't understand coaches who think that they're on a pedestal and that the kids are lucky to play for them. Hey, I understand how lucky I am to coach our kids, to coach at Mahomet, to have the privilege to be part of that journey that they're going to remember for the rest of their lives. And I'm certainly going to remember. We talk about that journey we're taking together and building memories and the important parts of that journey. The important parts of that journey are going to be our shared relationship, our struggles together, and our love for each other. And when we talk about building love amongst our teammates, I'll just give you one example of our